Happy Sunday. I want to make so much smoke because I just washed my hair. So I don't want to make so much smoke, but I have to clean these decks. It's part of my process. I know there's people that just shuffle the decks. They just start the reading and that's it. For me, saging the deck, it's very important. It's like part of a routine. Hello. Hey, Fluffy. Today there's no, I forgot to put the restrictions, so if there's some spamming or some weird comments, guys, you can block it. How are you? Yeah. I remember when I started the hour was this hour. I remember. Hopefully, if everything goes well with the remodelation on the other room, the one that we are building, and if it's like quiet and peaceful and no interruptions, no children screaming, no dogs barking, maybe if they are still asleep at that hour, I can go back to do the live streams at this hour. I can go back to do them during the week, if everything goes well. Here it's 10 a.m. Yeah, actually, I could do jeans because I have four people, four subjects only today, guys. Because honestly, that it wasn't planned to do the live stream because I was like, okay, they are going to continue working, so but they sort of extended the labor yesterday. They ended very late, but they were able to do everything like yesterday. So now I'm free at this time. But then, at the we do have a lunch to attend to. There's some friends of my dad that they are going to prepare like a meal for him, because since it was his birthday was on Monday, but it was so rainy, like the heavy rain. It was impossible for people to come and say happy birthday. So they wanted to make a celebration, a small people. Uh, yes. But yeah, I don't have much people. Honestly, I try as many people in subjects that I read over the week that I cannot I cannot read for them when I'm doing the romantic ones because it doesn't fit. So yes. Yeah, yes, yeah, Heather, you're like yes, yeah. But actually, yeah, Shola is right. We do have a community post. I usually just don't take random recommendations, because it's not about, a recommendation is welcomed always, but we do have an order. We do have an order. People know they are very pendant on the community post and they place their recommendations in there, um, just so we can keep things fair, and so then people feel like, okay, we all have an opportunity to ask, um, but at the same time I always pick the ones that are more original, in the sense that I don't read that often for that person because I don't like to read for the same idol group all the time. I think that is a waste of energy, is a waste on the reading as well, because the readings have duration, they can go up to 3 6 months depending on the subject. So sometimes people are very anxious about certain groups or an idol. They are like, oh, can you read for them again? and and no, it doesn't work like that. You have to, I know, probably if you are a fan and if you love tarot readings, you cannot wait to get watch as many readings as you can of your favorite, but the reality is that you don't have to do them that often, because it's like you are undoing what you said every time you pull cards again. So yeah, I think that I'm looking at it, Yashua, I'm looking at it at the tablet. Now I think that it's normal. But when I started the live stream, I was frozen, like the image was blurred off. Um, Now it's again a lot of pixeling. Could it be my internet connection? See, it's like frozen now. I don't know if it's because, let's see. If I go out of maybe if I go out of the tablet, because in the phone it looks normal. In the phone it looks normal. Now I cannot get out here. Now I cannot get out of here. I noticed this. I thought that it was my phone. I thought it was the tablet also. I thought that maybe because the tablet it's a bit old. I was like, okay, maybe that's why it's freezing. But on the camera, I see it normally. But I did notice, like there was some slow motion, some frozen parts when I tried to screen record do the screen recording for the TikToks. I noticed there were some parts that would get stuck, and I would blame it on my internet. I would be like, okay, this is why the internet is failing. But I think that's not the case. I think that, I don't know, maybe there's something wrong. It never happened to me. I believe it never happened with a video of mine, a live stream. But yeah, I did notice it the other day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that this hour is better to do the live streams. Um, because first of all, because I have experience, I started doing the live streams in this time zone. But also because I believe I have a lot of people from Indonesia or from Europe, from so their time zones is more like I noticed comes um, to the about Indonesia and the US coming first in the ranking. Um, so yeah, but there's a lot of Indonesian people. The other day, hope I was watching. I was going to share it on Discord. I was watching a clip, a highlight of um, is being Shaniki being his new house. I believe he moved. Maybe he moved a time ago, but he was showing off his new department, and I loved it. I loved it. It's so nice. It's so spacious. It's so wide. It's cool. I liked it, and I believe that episode, that's more small clip. It showed him going to buy. Uh, I don't know how to call those little like carriers that are for barbecue. How are they called, those things? Mm, beautiful view. I'm a bit bored, honestly. Like I saw it and I was like, it's so beautiful. But I don't know, maybe because I have cats, I feel so anxious about, the borders. Like I know it has like this protection, but me the time with Kali and I'm dealing with Naila, and they are so wild whenever they want to jump, or they think that they can cross anything. So I have a balcony in like upstairs in Cali. She walks like I have the fence and she walks in the and like in the like superior part. And on the other side there's nothing. And I will always be freaking out because I was like, what if she loses balance and she falls? But she's so wild like that. She climbs things, so it's impossible to. Maybe with dogs it's easier, but with cats, oh my god! Like I'm already like envisioning in my mind that I want to close with um, also with some um, I don't know how to say it, but it's like that it's made of plastic. Um, I was searching for one that looks like do you say in English the when you make a score in soccer, the goalkeeper is I don't know how you call that. Well, that kind of mesh I want to get for um, grill. Barbecue grill. See, it's that word grill. I never think of that. For me, grill is more like a bird to grill. And then I remember that yeah, the grill is like the kitchen thing that one. Net. Okay, net. As a baby, I learned and rooftops from a cat I follow around the neighborhood. Yeah, teachers. Because for my cat, at least this is my first very adventurous, wild, and very like wanderer kind of cat. I had female cats before, and I also had like male cats that yeah they would sleep outside. They would come home every 3 4 days. But with female cats, I had I had Luna, but then previously to that I had Petra, that they were like the most, I would say, feminine introvert. They would just be in the sofa, or they would be, when there was a small ray of light or there was sunlight, would go and just go in the park and they would lay in there, but they would never, attempt or think like, oh, I'm going to jump the wall and I'm going to see what's next to it. But now, since I own black cats, these little panthers, Negrita and Ocali, both of them are unstoppable. The other day, that my I was arguing with my dad because because they are breaking the wall, so there was like this tiny space in the middle, covered, but there was some spaces between it. And I was like, she's going through that and she's going to go out to the roof. And he was like, no, because she doesn't fit, because she is a big cat. She doesn't fit, she's not going to go. Okay. Yeah, she did. She went through that and then she would be meowing because she didn't know how to come back. The other day, because it took me longer to realize that she was on the roof, she came back on her own. So she tried to get in the middle of the piece of wood that it was like horizontal, um, and there was this tiny space, and she would get in there, and I saw her. She got stuck in there. She was like, like making, like pushing to get out because she got stuck in this small space. And she jumped, and she was like with her tongue out. She was like all suffocated. And she must have hurt the stomach or something because she's a big cat. I know cats can, I don't know what about their figure, but they are very adaptable. I know that even though sometimes I see Evita is a chubby cat, is a big cat, but sometimes she goes through small spaces. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. But in this case, she got stuck and I saw her. I saw her. She was struggling to get out of there. She was stuck. So those are the things that every time I tell my dad, because it's his cat, and every time I tell him, watch out for that empty space. She's going to find a way to climb in there and to get out. And he's like, no, because there's no way. I already covered it. And it's like the constant discussion about what a cat can do. And he's in denial. I always tell him, like, make sure I prefer to be a bit obsessive, but I want to know that the cat is not going to go out, especially because it's very unstable because they are still working on it. They still have to, remove certain parts of the roof. Now that they finish mine, they have to advance with the next one that is next to this. That is where we have like a sort of laundry room. They also have to change, the ceiling in there. So there's a lot of parts that they have to build a sort of wall with cement, and then there's another part that is going to be just with the materials of the roof. Um, but when you have a cat, you have to think. I learned this because also since I used to sleep, like have my bedroom on this side. I remember I would hear like Negrita when she was younger, when like Cali didn't exist, like it was just her and Luna. And I would hear her during the night just trying to open the door of the roof to get out. And she would manage to get out. So for me, she's like this Houdini. She's like sometimes you just blink and she's already gone. So it's dangerous. I mean, she's already a grown cat. She's mature. So, and also I think that there's something that I told my dad that maybe with Kali is going to be the same. I don't know if it's the race, but there's something about them just being relentless. You cannot stop them if they want to go out. It doesn't matter if you keep them entertained down here, if you keep them like here in the first floor, if you put all the toys, all the decorations, she still, her desire is to escape. She wants to escape. That's her desire. Most of them, most in the air to see how they land on their feet. Iranian listening Melanie gave his cat all the credit. Um, yeah, my dad had made removable grills for the window. You know what they say, but it's like if the whisker fits in a space, a cat will follow. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. Hello, flamingos. The new kitten I adopted during Christmas that I thought was a female and called Mina and is actually male. He was just sterilized. So ashamed for my mistake. Jokingly considering changing his name to Mina. That's very fitting. I like it. Mina. Hey, Chachalino. Yeah, you can block Chachalino. If there's a spamming, you can block. Yeah, I had to get the other day, last week, I took Kali to get the last shot of this year, the last one. Um, Finally, because I had been like taking her to get, I believe they were like 4 times that I took her ever since I got her. Um, I believe we started with the shots in January, and now we are in April. But yeah, I understand maybe it's like a longer process because the cat is very tiny. I don't know, maybe I know there was one that they do into doses. It's not like they give like a single shot and that's it. And now like I already asked everything. I'm going to take her to, yeah, on May. I'm going to take very close. She's very close to a young lady. She's very close. So yeah. How old do you know, guys? How much is it like in your where you live? The price of getting a cat like nurtured. In my case, they told me around $60, around $60. I don't know if it's expensive in your coin. Uh-huh. Your tomcat may be a lady cat. Yeah, I believe for females is for Cali. Yeah, she's a female. Yeah, they raise the prices. I noticed. I noticed also with the shots. I noticed that also. Mm. Also, Cali hates her best. She's the sweetest, but Cali hates her. She hates her. I never seen like Cali like actually like someone that she hates. She hates the best. Hates her. Mm. Okay, for my dog. Okay. Guys, I know the other day I showed her, and but you couldn't actually see that she has this amber like a color of eyes. She is so beautiful, like very. She like her whole face is changing. I remember when I brought her, I was like, oh my god, she's so common looking. She looks so like because Nerita, yeah, she's also all black, but she has these green eyes, these round green eyes, very big eyes, and she's so beautiful. She's so cute. Also, her face is like more round than Kali. Kali more like slim. Um, but the color of her eyes had changed to amber. I never seen a cat that has this kind of eye color. Like I seen black cats that they do have yellow eyes, the green, then you have like the ones that have green eyes, then you have I believe there's like also blue eyes for a race of black cats. But the amber, like the kind of orange kind of color, um, so beautiful. I was like, wow, you changed so much. She was so. I don't. She wasn't the most beautiful cat. Okay. That's a good price. Here in the US, we can accept cats already spayed and neutered, and we have access to free vaccinations. Why she grows into this large panda? She is very long. She is a very long cat. Yeah. I have a caterpillar because it's what I can afford for it. But hey, I love that level of awareness and responsibility because honestly, like we have been talking, I think that when we have a cat, especially, when I was younger, I didn't know how expensive or how responsible with cats because I remember my or the dogs that we had. So yeah, I would be so happy. I would play with them a bit, and then I would go and I would be with them, cooking for them, like I remember we had like this tiny Chihuahua that it wasn't a Chihuahua, it was a mix, um, because we found it on the streets. But it had very wavy hair. Like it was small, but it had a lot of wavy hair. And my mom had to come, to brush the hairs, the dog hairs. Um, and like I wouldn't, remember that. Like, oh yeah, take it to the bed. I was like, I don't know. I just thought that they would survive like that, just being with us. And now that I'm older and that I'm paying more attention and I'm more at home, I remember when I used to be like working long hours at an office or at a mall or in a building, I would come back home and I would be like, just so tired, like I wouldn't know anything. And after pandemic, everything changed. So now this is why, when I talk to you guys or when I share about the remodelations and the things that we are changing and building here, it all has to do because, some of the work that I do is remote. But at the same time, I think that after the pandemic, being more at home, you start looking at the house and you're like, okay, this is a very old house. It needs to have reparations, and sometimes, especially I see it with my dad's house because he would always be the one that would fix everything. But he's not a professional in everything. There's problems with water, there's problems with the gas, um, but he would want to fix it himself and not call someone. So now that he's older, have to be dependent of his house. Like, is it clean? Is the bathroom clean? Is are your sheets clean? I'm just like thinking like, okay, like, thank God he opened windows, the doors. He just he is not the type of people that he's like sedentary and he's like, just like in a room or inside the house. No, he just opens everything. But I see it that my house in comparison to his house, I think that probably is because he's a widower. Um, so when you without your partner or you don't have a partner, somehow the lady or the feminine touch in the house is lost, even though he does his best to keep a certain order, he's not in the details. He's not in the details. So I'm always like, making sure that the towels are fresh. I buy perfumes for him, or I buy I don't know, deodorant for him, or I always tell him like, you need to spray, the sheets with some perfume, not perfume, but those, those clothes, like these sprays um, that you sort of, spray on the clothes, um, and because I noticed, and I think that we all know that the older you get, they do have a particular odor. I know my dad, like, he baths himself, like definitely he's very he does take a bath regularly, but they do have a smell. They do have a smell, and I'm like always like, did you wear perfume? Did you wear your cologne? So yeah. I never knew how expensive it is to raise dogs until I worked at the animal hospital. I'm a cat person. Mm. Um, More than the money is the amount of time and attention they require. We can't leave my dog forever long. Every pet can be expensive, but since the virus, it becomes ridiculous. Like the same food is. Yes, I noticed with the food also. My cats, they, I don't know if the brand is known worldwide, but they consume a brand that is called Royal Canin. Um, that maybe in the US, in other parts of the world, it's just a regular brand, but here in Argentina, it's very expensive. It's very expensive. For me, it's like all marketing. But my cats like Luna and Evita, they have been, of this. We spend the money, but we buy the large bags, so they can last long, and we give them this. It has this quality to be for cats that are sterilized. For cats that have been nurtured. Um, I believe that maybe they are like low in a bit like a bit of a diet there must be in there, because to keep them, especially if it's like a domestic cat, they tend to get heavy after they get the surgery. Okay. Okay. Rochelle Canin is high end. Okay. Yeah, because in here we actually have others. I believe there's another one that is um um no, premium, no. I don't remember the name now, but it's also very, very expensive. Yeah, my dog. I remember also my doggy eats what we eat. She doesn't want dog food. She even fights with my kids for chocolate. Yeah, I remember like yeah, so that when I was younger, my mom, she would make a whole stew for the dogs in the house. She would make like she would like the pieces like big, like these big pieces of meat with bones. She would throw everything with potatoes, you know um everything, every kind of vegetables. She would make like a huge stew, like soup and rice. She would mix everything, and she would feed this to all the animals in the house. Like it wouldn't be for the dog or nothing. She would remove the bones, of course, and the bones, they would be these. Maybe she would leave it for the dogs. These would be like big bones that is not like they would disintegrate. Um, and and my cat and my cat and the dogs would eat that. I remember my mom had the I wasn't home when that happened, but my mom had a grandson, not a grandson, a godson. She had a godson that he was in his 20s at that time. And he was, visiting her. He was staying at my house. She was staying for the night, and then he took the opportunity to go out dancing. He went to a local bar here, like to go dancing and drinking with my other cousins. So they go out, they had fun, everything. So he came late. He arrived here. He came back to sleep here at my house. I believe he came back at 4 a.m. in the morning, and he was he was drunk, but he was very hungry. When you have that when you are that hungry. And he saw that my mom had like she had left like the pot in there with the lid on, and in there was the stew that she would make for the dog. And you know that my this he would be like my cousin. um he would serve he ate a plate of this, and he was like he woke up the next morning, he was like telling my mom, praising my mom, like, oh, that stew was amazing, oh, it was so delicious, I came up from the club, and I was so hungry that I was so thankful that it was in there, it was so delicious, like what is it in there that it was amazing. And my mom was like, what's to the one that was on the kitchen counter? And she was like, that's for the dog. There was dog food. And well, thank God, she did. It was like she would cook as if it was for a proper person. Just the difference that she would make like in a big pot, so it would last. Um, but he thought it was like something that she made. But yeah, he did it. So I guess it must have been really good, really good. She's 17 years old now and has been eating chocolates all her life. I can't stop her from fighting her for her share. Yeah, I also know. I know my dad spoils them. I notice because every time we sit to eat together, they are next to him. They are behind him and under the chair, because he definitely gives them whatever he's having, he gives them a piece of it. So this is why, and I always tell him, like, don't get them used to that, because then they follow you always, like, cats. I know dogs also get used to it, but cats are very shameless. You know that they climb anything. They even like steal like the bags. Maybe a dog wouldn't be that invasive, um, but the cats are very, you know, when they get fixated, like, oh my God, sorry, I got disconnected. My cat also named Kali is 15 too. There's something relaxing about knowing they have lived this long and you know them well, what works or not for food. Yeah, yes, yes. Also, I think that you know it's like a treat. It's like a treat. I think that sometimes it doesn't matter how many diet you give them. If you're like, no, they cannot eat this, no, don't give it that, they get sick anyways, like that. um but that's why I think that we can give span of a cat. I believe I know people that have them for like 20 years, and I know people that have like very old, like 22. mm, our cat passed away at 19. Yeah, yeah, they are they are great animals. And she was an outdoor cat. You know that's also a reality, and I don't know if that also applies to us humans. I mean, as people, because we're all human. Um, because I noticed it with Luna. Luna was a very indoor cat. Like she wouldn't even climb. Like there was just one time she tried to climb. The the table here next to, and then when she fell, she slipped, she fell, and then the dog, my neighbor's dog, got her. And that's why, she got, I think that that's when her allergies started, because I believe that the dog, because she had a bite, like, the mark of her tooth, the dog's tooth in here. She had a mark here, and I think that probably maybe it pressed her, this part. And after that, she started to have, like, I remember I told you guys that she had these colds or these allergies. She would be sneezing a lot. She would be, also her eyes would cry. Um, so, and she would never be like, like that wild cat adventurous that you're like, okay, she got in trouble because she did it once, it ended up bad. But then, she would always be inside our house, and she would have like the best food, like not the best food, but I think she wouldn't eat anything that it wasn't, like anything that the doctor would be like, the vet would be like, this is healthy, she would eat this. And she also wouldn't crave for nor sweets, nor, more yummy food. No, she would eat just like the regular cat food. She wouldn't be also that, um, desperate for food. She would eat to survive. But she had a very good life, and she was also a very passive cat. She didn't want to be bothered, disturbed. Very happy one also, but just, minding her business, not loud, not, no. She just wanted to be alone. And safe also. Don't take her to weird places. And she had this disease, this caught her, that I don't know until these days, this virus that she got. Um, and sometimes, with my dad, we often look at this. We do have this very annoying stray cat that comes always to my house to fight with Nerita or with whoever cat is around. Is very aggressive. Is a male cat. He has scratches. He fights with every cat in the neighborhood. He's so aggressive. But he's still going. I'm sure the cat is very old, but he's still going. No, I don't know. I don't know. He's a fool. Not to be a downer, but from work experience, dark chocolate is the worst issues of trouble breathing milk and emergency box. I think cat died after eating lilies. Also my cats, they um my Luna used to love aloe. Is it aloe? Do you call it also aloe? We call it here in Spanish. We call it aloe vera. But yeah, it's the aloe leaf. She would chew on it, on the tip of the aloe leaf. She would chew on it. She would chew in the roses. We have roses also. She would chew on the part that it has like a thorn. Always do this. I don't know if she brushed her teeth with it, but yeah, aloe vera. Okay. Anytime I would see like my aloe vera, I would get a bit dark, a bit brownish in the in the point in the it was her. I don't know if I remember that she also would scratch her whiskers. She would do. Yeah, I'm going to start, guys. Yes. Now I will tell you who I have. Um, I am going to read four. Yeah, when she said 4+, it means that there's like a 4 readings engines. Yeah, thank you, Yashoda. My dog is a walnut lover. We have a tree in the backyard, and she has been eating them ever since I got her. No issues, but the dog of someone in our street ate one and passed away. Oh my! Oh. Okay, for today's reading, I'm going to read for Red Velvet, the group 2025. EXO Xiumin. I'm going to read for iKon, Bobby, and EXO Chen because someone wanted to know, in a very general way, how is their life after marriage? Not to dive into, oh, what is their married life like? It's more like how being married has impacted maybe professional, personal, but this being, I believe, the two idols we know that are recently married. Then I have the actor Park Jungmin. I don't know him, but he's an Irishman, and his future activities. Yeah, on Wednesday, I'm going to continue with the ideal type reading. So yeah, then I'm going to make a community post so you guys can leave recommendations. Thank you to everyone that is very original, asking for different people, because you know that I refuse to look for the same people, and I'm always like looking and I'm like, oh, this person again. Like, guys, just try to get different names, please. Oh, I hope I gain something. What is it? Nine of Pentacles. Look at this card. I hope we have a season of this, guys. Gain. Nine of Pentacles. I hope all your projects, personal projects, grow and that you can see the gain of this. Ah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Catalina. Thank you. I believe also Utah is having, I believe, another solo. I will have to read for him. Pass for it. Gain, please. Yes. Honestly, guys, for me, when I notice, for me personally, but also I see it for other people. For me, the year starts in April, in every season. For me, my birthday, Aquarius season, Pisces season, I just cannot. I cannot. When you try to, get moving with the year, it's a new year, new me, new goals or new life. I don't know. It feels like it's not the start yet. I feel like I'm trying, I'm going through the days, but I don't feel it like, I don't feel the vitality. I don't see it. There's people that, oh, because it's a new year and like, oh, I don't feel it. I think that for me, it takes longer to get, when I finally feel like things start to move for me, yearly in the year. Um, and when Aries starts, that's when I feel like, okay. And possibly because I love winter season, so when there's like these very heavy humid days in the summer that we have over here in the south part of the world, it's so annoying for me. I feel like I'm a zombie, except maybe not so much weight gain. I cannot promise you anything, guys. I'm entering autumn and winter, so probably I'm going to be wearing a lot of big sweaters to cover my tummy because I will try my best to work if I can, if I have time. But I don't know. I don't promise anything. I have Jupiter in the first house, so it doesn't matter if I do diet or if I eat or if I restrict myself or not. I'm going to gain weight anyways. Yeah, when the heat goes away, it must feel like a reverse. For me, honestly, I think, and I don't know if I believe someone told me, I believe my mom told me, I don't remember that much, but I believe I was supposed to be born, if I wasn't premature, I was supposed to be born at the end of March, like March 23rd. I believe that was the date that I was supposed to be here, to be born. So I was supposed to be in Aries. So I guess it makes sense why I'm looking forward to in Aries with Pisces placements, of course, I wouldn't be able to escape my Pisces placements anyway. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, March 23rd, 24th. Yeah. Maybe that's why I feel like whenever, the Aries season starts, I feel like I'm more myself, I feel like I'm um, feeling more connected with what I want to do. And I feel more confident also, more confident, more comfortable. I feel so creative. It's like I wake up from a long nap. I wake up, but honestly, like I cannot blame like my mom for having me that early. Besides of our health issues, her health and mine. But January the 15th, I told you guys, it's the hottest day ever. So you imagine having a pregnant woman like in January 15th, like with all the defenses, the immune system working against you. That I think that that also precipitated the birth. It's so like on my birthdays, I always spend it so I feel so disgusted. I don't want anyone to like usually here in my country we say hi to each other, we kiss each other in the cheek. I know there's other Latin countries that they sometimes, I don't know if they do that honestly. I think that there's some people that do like this, they hug each other to say hi, but we actually do kiss in the cheek. um, um, I remember from my dad's generation they used to give two kisses, like one here and one there, but we don't do that. We just give one. Um, and I would be like, if my birthday, I would be like, don't, like, don't touch me. Like I feel so comfortable. Anita, yes, I believe it's from Italy. Yeah. I came here from Italy. Yeah, Italy. We have over Spain. A lot of European influence here. Yeah. Yeah, we do it too. La vis, we call it. It was forbidden during COVID, and honestly, I was glad. Yeah, here it was also forbidden. This was forbidden because we had to bring our own mate set, and we had to drink each one of our because we usually share the mate with others. So this was also very heartbreaking to have to keep the mate to yourself and not give it to others. Of course, that in some because usually when you do the mate, when you serve the mate, it's like an instant, as like you really have to be like very against sharing or being like, okay, I'm drinking this all by myself. Because if there's people around you, there's this instant, you do give it to the other person, and the other person takes it, or they are like, no, no, I pass, or I don't know, thank you so much. And if I give you the mate and you are drinking and you want to continue drinking, in our culture we ask the person to not say thank you, because if you say thank you, it means that you're over. It means that you don't want any more, like you don't want to have any more mate, you don't want me to keep serving you. So because people sometimes, when you offer it to them, they are like, oh, thank you. And you say thank you at the end. Like, it's annoying when you have to do it with people you don't particularly want to touch. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like for me, like I just in here we also don't do it to everyone. We expect to have like a prior encounter, or we actually had said hello to each other before, or we had seen each other before. It's not like we do it in the first encounter of just a stranger. Maybe if we are introduced by someone else, um, but there has to be like, oh, you know me, I know you, or we have someone in common. It cannot be just like, oh yeah, hello, like here's the kiss. No, you have to sort of measure you have to read the room. You have to see also if the person, if it's a foreigner, we try not to, because they don't like it. Imagine in Korea where they share plates too. Ah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, where they share plates. For sure, I do have. I don't know why people keep asking for a report, because I already have like, isn't it? It says 20, I believe it says 2025 readings and treasuries. Isn't the title, I believe. Um, I also believe that the reading that I did for treasure, it wasn't that positive. I don't know why I got very challenging cards, but I don't know, maybe I got it wrong, because I think that they already had a comeback, right? And I said something like they wouldn't have much activity. That's what I saw back then. I don't know. But I don't know if I got it right, because I think that they are very active. I believe I think I seen something. So I don't know why I saw some interruptions, or I didn't see a hiatus, but I remember I said something. Oh, this is so YG, of putting them on hold or postponing certain things. In the 80s in San Francisco, it was common to kiss as a greeting. I drew the line straight up where guys, even strangers, started kissing everyone on the lips. Ah, it was like dinging with no. Oh my. Like, okay, guys, I'm going to start, because otherwise I'm going to be late to this lunch celebration party for my dad. I also have the other weekend. I have my other cousin's birthday, so I'm so I'm so full of birthdays. Like, I wanted to stop already. I'm not that social. Okay, I'm going to start reading for Red Velvet as a group for 2025. Okay. Hi, I love this Queen of Cups. She's so pregnant. Mm. A lot of queens. Like, oh my God, they really are taking, like, they are taking the spotlight, the girls here. So whatever Red Velvet is going to be releasing, is going to be of them being very involved. But I know there's, I believe Jerry and Wendy, they left SM. And when I read for Irene, I in that reading, I said something about that she sort of was waiting for news or was waiting for something to be revealed. And then we heard about, Jerry and Wendy leaving SM. But honestly, and I also, when I read for Jerry, I believe for Pisces season, she was so sad, like poor woman. Like I don't know if maybe it's a personal thing, but she was so emotional. Um, but honestly, the cards that they get is not negative for the group. So I can see them actually getting along better, or maybe getting to an agreement sooner than when they used to be all in SM. So maybe this SM, them going different companies or something like this is going to bring room for change and improvement. So yeah. For Red Velvet, Knight of Wands, Queen of Cups, we have the Star in the middle, Three of Cups, and Ace of Swords. And then from the other deck, I have the card of Mother of Earth. That they always get, like, that this deck, each suit has, like, when it's the figures, the characters, is usually, there's a lot of races in here. We have four different races for the four different suits, but always for these K-pop idols or these artists, like Asian artists, they get the Queen of Swords, and they get, in this case, I believe this woman is Korean. So it's like very interesting. It's very interesting how they are Asians, and sometimes they do get the Asian lady. And in this case, it says Mother of Earth. This is like the representation of the Queen of Swords. So see, yes, a lot of like energy of speaking up. Maybe, I don't know um about like artistic creation. I think that is bigger than this. I don't know if maybe they are going to get together to release a statement or to talk to the fans, or I believe that more news are coming. There's something that they have to reveal that probably is going to also bring much more clarity. It doesn't have to be negative, but I think that it's going to bring much more clarity to maybe people that are a bit insecure about the group's future, or they're like, oh, what is going to happen? Now that we have these two that went over here, and then we have the others. And I think that they're going to be fine, guys. And also that, if there's something that you're like, I don't feel like this is going to be okay, they are going to clear the air. They're going to, maybe, do a live stream or something, talking to the fans, or maybe it's going to be Wendy and Jerry. But there's going to be like very straightforward communication. So, you don't get confused about the future of the group. That I don't think that it is going to be negative. I don't think that there's going to be obstacles. I don't see obstacles here. I see them actually be much more united. I mean, I wish I could here and be like, reading card by card, yeah, from left to right, and have it in order. But I think that in this case, I don't want to follow an order, and it has to do with, first of all, that the group in the middle, we have the star. So definitely this group, they can go through a lot of changes, a lot of transformation, a lot of ups and downs. But the group, what they represent, their talent, their influence that they have, they are stars. So, probably this is like, now more than ever, if you're a fan of theirs, you have to trust in their stardom or in their popularity, the influence that they have. You don't think less of them. They know very well what they're doing. Um, I definitely, here I could see a bit of Jerry because I have the Knight of Wands and I have the Queen of Cups. So, there's someone just making a very abrupt exit, I would say, like leaving someone, leaving somewhere, or, going somewhere else, or just like maybe escaping a situation. But I think that it had to be done, Honestly, I don't know, maybe the fans of Velvet, if they have a perception of what is going on with the dynamic. But I think that I see different queens. Like I see two, and this is not because two are in this place and two and three are in this place, but maybe it sort of has to do with that. There's division. Honestly, like I think that the girls are not like the girls all together are not like best friends. Like there's something about them separating themselves from the others. And in here, there's not like resentment nor negative feelings, nothing. But there's distance. There's something about like, oh, I want to go this way because I want to pursue my dreams or my aspiration. So yeah, I deserve it because I'm a star or I have contributed to the group's success, so I deserve it. I want to go solo or I want to go here, so yeah, I will go. I'm just letting you know, guys, because we have queens. We don't have pages here. So the queens also, they demand respect. They are very also um they are very mature. They have a lot of experience. So this is why I'm like, all of them are queens. All of them, whenever they say yes to something or no to something, they know what they're doing. And I think that I see distance, honestly. Like I don't know, maybe the fans know if there's like, I don't think that is rivalry. I think that they just don't get along. There's something about their mindsets or their they get together when they have to have a comeback, and I think that probably there's like a small group on this side and then the others on this side. Like there's like this separation. I was looking at this Three of Cups, and it's like, yeah, when we have a comeback or when we have to, do something for the group, we're going to get together. Yeah, you're going to see us. But also the Three of Cups, the Three of Cups, it for me is like literal. You have three that are like one unit or like the closest. You have three on this side and you have two on the other side. That these are represented by these two queens, that it could be. That also these queens are not, it's not like two against three. Or it's not, oh, these two get along and these three get along on their side. No, I think that also the two that are on the other side, they don't get along also. Because they're like, I want to do me. I'm individualistic. Like I don't collaborate. Like I don't need to collaborate. I can stand on my own. I can stand on my talent. I don't need to do collaborations. And maybe these three ones that does anyone know if there's going to be like three of them that are going to do like a unit? But I see that maybe you're going to see probably three of them hanging out more or maybe releasing content that, yeah, it's three, only three. And then you have the other two that they're going to do amazing also individually, but they're going to do what they want to do. So there's something just in here very clear about the maturity of their decisions and where they're heading. There's this level of like, yeah, I want to do this on my own. I don't have to ask you for permission. The group is fine. Whenever you guys call me, I'll be there. I will join. I will participate. I will collaborate. There's also not hurt feelings. I don't think that is like, when I see separation, I don't think that is about, the girls having something personal against each other. I think that they're just different people. They're just different people that they get together when they have a specific schedule. We have to get together to record this. We will do it. But are we best friends? No. And I think that it has to do with age. with age and also with pride and authenticity. Also, I think that with all these queens in here, we finish with the Ace of Swords, and then we also have from the other deck we have the Queen of Swords. So there's something about this woman just be very straightforward and very vocal about their do's and don'ts. So this group, I don't feel it like, oh, we're all best friends, like, oh, so cute. No, they're like, I don't know how old the members are, but there's something about them being like, I'm a grown woman. I don't need to be following the others around. I can be successful on my own. I can ask something for myself and not feel guilty about it because I have so many ideas. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, these are very creative queens. These are very creative queens. So it makes sense that they want to do something on their own or they want to go separate ways individually. Because it's like, I have a style or I have, I like this genre of music or I like this style and the others don't. Or the others want to do this and I don't want to do that. So it's okay for me to be honest and be like, I don't want to do what you guys do. Like, it's okay that if you want to do it, go and do it. I will not, like, no one is offended here. There's a level of agreement, but also there's a level of, like, I will go and do me. But yeah, with the star card, also there's something about destiny. I think that this probably was meant to be. Maybe if there's some very long time fans, maybe also is coming, or we were not surprised that this. I see them having a reunion. I probably at the end of the year there's going to be like a celebration. Maybe they have an anniversary. Maybe Red Velvet has an anniversary. I think that they're going to be very sharp also. This is why I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to call it like, oh, they're going to have a comeback. I think that also there's going to be like a sort of live stream or fan sign or something like this, that they are going to state something, or they're going to be talking about certain things or about how they feel about this new beginning. But the Ace of Swords is also to clarify maybe certain rumors. Maybe people are spreading rumors, or maybe people, don't understand certain things about the future of the group, and they are going to get together to clarify this. Because also with the Queen of Swords, they could also be also very much very sharp and very straightforward about, like, do not speculate on our career, or do not spread these false rumors about us. Like, we are very secure in what we are doing, and there's an agreement. We have a level of agreement. Whatever is going on with the members, some members here and there, there's a level of agreement. In here, no one is blind. No one is like in denial, like, oh my God, what happened? No, there's a lot of like conversations. There's an agreement in here. It's like, yeah, you go and do what you have to do, and I will go and do my thing. Like, it doesn't affect me. Okay, I'm going to continue with EXO Xiumin for 2025. He's also an Aries, I believe. He's so secretive. Remember, I placed the cards like on their back. Okay. It's a good year for Xiumin. Could it be that he's busy? Could it be that he's doing things individually, because he's enduring things, and I think he could be a bit confusing maybe for people, people being like, is he okay? I mean, he could have a lot of things to do, maybe being in different parts, but yeah. We start for Xiumin, 9 of Pentacles, Temperance, Queen of Swords in the middle. Again, Red Velvet with Swords. Now he has the Queen of Swords in the middle. So he communicative, setting boundaries, fusions. What is going on with people? Because I think that it's the idols maybe trying to set the record straight about certain things about their career because they feel very sharp. They are like, I'm going to go out and say something because what you're creating online is insane. 10 of Wands, he could potentially be very tired, but well, 7 of Cups. And then, but from the other deck, we have the Sun card. So, Xiumin, it's actually very I think that he feels very very like positive about what he's doing. He's also trying to heal something about his individual potential. Maybe this is like now that we are in every season, there's something about the I, something about the self. Maybe Xiumin is like, instead of looking more at the group or what the group is doing or the others are doing, he's like trying to heal his more independent side or maybe his individual activities. He's trying to also reconcile with this and just maybe congratulate himself more, or just trying to do something where he feels like he's validated and appreciated, and even when he's maybe been paid better. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Temperance, so there's something, with this card that is like, you have to, maybe he also has to heal his relationship with money. And when I say money, I don't think that it's just EXO money. I think that there's something about, the Nine of Pentacles being like, you know, you could do actually better if you start promoting yourself or start doing more individual activities on your own instead of waiting for others to be like, oh yeah, we should do this together. I think that he has the potential to actually make extra money or being even abundant, with individual activities. I think that he's a bit, he has postponed a lot. I think that he was postponed. He was proposed, uh, a lot of times. Like, do you want to do this activity? We want to invite you to this show. We want to do this with you. And he be like, yeah, no, thank you, because I'm waiting for the other guys because maybe he had certain issues and he was sort of hung up with having to wait others. And the Nine of Pentacles and the Temperance is like, get up, like, get up. I know that probably there's something that he's pushing on still. Maybe he has some unfinished business, maybe also with the group he's sort of waiting to see what is going to happen. But the Nine of Pentacles is like, you have so much potential on your own and no one is stopping you. Like, go and take your coin, like we I pulled the card of gain, and that it just jump out. It's like, take the seed of your labor, of your productivity, and show yourself, reclaim your money. Maybe also it has to do with him reclaiming, maybe if someone is owning him money. But I think that he could make extra money by himself, maybe appearing in someone's show. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if he has like his YouTube channel. I don't know. But I think that he should invest more in his own talents instead of waiting for the others to be like, oh yeah, now is our turn. Now we have to do this. But this is why I said this, about, for me, I think that it's deeper. It's not so much like, oh yeah, because the others distracted me and we had issues and this is why I wasn't being so productive. No, I think that he has an issue with money. There's something about him not feeling worth it or deserving of earning or getting paid or actually charging people for his presence or for what he does. Or maybe he doesn't know how much to charge. There's something with, like, actually you could make money. But yeah, with the Queen of Swords in the middle, there's something There's something just very strong, and just, also it feels also very mercurial. The Queen of Swords also is no joke. I think that this is a year where he probably also, maybe if he has legal battles against someone. I know he was with CBX, so the Queen of Swords probably, is that he could achieve, certain winnings with his individual activities, but then he will have to go back to the war, I would say, intellectual war. That maybe has to do maybe with legal matters. The Queen of Swords is like, don't relax. Don't relax, because at some point, maybe you will have to attend to a certain, I don't know, conciliation, or I don't know if there's going to be a trial, or there's going to be something that he has to attend, and being very, very outspoken, or just, having a speech, or having to speak up, or having to maybe write a statement for his own. But yeah, I think that the Queen of Swords is like, I will not be able to relax this year, even though maybe individually he can heal a bit and maybe see some earnings. But the Queen of Swords is like, some struggles are not over. And he probably could get a bit moody or very sharp if he says something online. I would advise him not to. But there's something about also him being a bit fed up of what people say online. So I wonder what is going on, because we have the 10 of Wands and we have the 7 of Cups. So I think that, I don't know if this is about EXO, or this is about CBX, but he probably is going to finish the year feeling a bit tired, feeling a bit exhausted, probably things not been over yet. I think that he's sort of waiting for some things to be over. He's like a bit fed up. I wish some things could be over. But it probably is a long road of a lot of negotiation back and forth, and he will feel the responsibility. He's also going to be there. But the 7 of Cups also, I don't know if he has like a moon in Pisces, because, the 7 of Cups is always associated with Pisces placements. But he could be, because of all the pressure that he feels on himself, on, not breaking, on being professional, or maybe not lashing out, or not saying anything inappropriate, or that people will take it the wrong way. There's something about him, repressing his feelings a lot. And the 7 of Cups is like this evasion in his imagination. He probably tends to daydream, or he will, the 7 of Cups also gives me like, doing something, some activity that can take him away from the exhaustion, the tiredness of everything that he has to deal with every day. He wants to date. At the end of the reading, it's really tough to remain, optimistic. We have the sun. To remain optimistic in times of war or in times of conflict. Maybe also there's a part of him where he's tired of being in conflict. He's tired of being in conflict. This is why I think that he's a very sweet guy. I know he's an Aries. He knows his right. He's very intelligent, but there's a part of him, with the 7 of Cups at the end, that he's like, I wish I could be somewhere else, because I'm tired of like, it seems like he views his life like a constant struggle, and like everything is so difficult for him to get it. Nothing comes just easily for him. No, he has to sustain, and it's like, no, one more year to resist, one more year. And it's a lot. You actually could lose the joy, because of this, feeling so pressured, but the sun at the end is like, you're a sunshine. He's a very positive guy. It's just that, sometimes this having to pretend like he's strong, or him feeling annoyed actually, and maybe people taking it the wrong way also, maybe looking at him like he's serious or like he's making some faces and people taking it the wrong way and be like, oh my God, he's angry at the members, he's angry at this person. And no, he's just fed up that his whole career, it has some good things. His career, his life has some very beautiful things and beautiful experiences, but also has some challenging ones. And he's, sustaining so much that, or bearing so much that he's like, when will the happy times come? Like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Why always I have to be on the defensive? Like, I cannot just be nice, And probably it has to do with EXO, SM, and everything related to him being a singer. Honestly, like him, I don't know if he got criticism at some point or he feels like there's a lot of backlash. I think that he feels much more grateful and appreciated in another aspect. I don't know if he does something else besides being a singer or besides being part of EXO. Maybe he does another artistic or he has another hobby. I think that hobby or that thing that he does outside of EXO brings him much more joy than being an idol. I don't know what activity this is, but this is why I'm like, you have to invest more in this. Like, go also change your surroundings. There's something about him, like I know that there's people that, because they love a group so much, or they love, a singer so much, or they love a unit so much. They are like, they think that the members have to be together forever, and I think that for Xiumin, he needs to actually find another people, like hang out in a different circle, because where he is, it's all battles. It's all battles, and not to he's trying his hardest to not, hurt people with his words or with what he has to say. He's trying to not offend neither the fans nor the group, but he's tired. He's tired. He's tired. I don't know if he's like the leader or something, but it feels like he carries a lot. I know the leader is someone else. I know it, but he feels like I don't know. Is he like the second leader of EXO? Because he feels like he carries so much and he pretends to be strong. He's always like trying to read and educate himself about what is going on with the group, with the image of the group, with the members, with, he feels very like he takes responsibility so much. But yeah, he should loosen up a bit, because do something else, because it's toxic. Thank you. Thank you, guys. He's the oldest in EXO. Now it makes sense. The 10 of Wands, yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense. Like he, even maybe if there's other members or if there's someone that is like, relax. They're going to be okay. They're not babies. They're going to be okay. And he's like always like hyper vigilant. He's like observing. He's like like obsessive about not missing something. Yeah. Poor guy. But yeah, we have the sun. So yeah, better days. Okay. I'm going to pull cards for iKon, Bobby, and EXO Chen, Life After Marriage. I'm going to pull 2 cards each to see, how this being married, affects their professional and personal life. And yeah. Okay. 2 for iKon, Bobby. I'm not going to get too much because I believe Bobby is in the military. So yeah, I'm not going to go that much into that. But yeah. Okay. For Bobby. For iKon, Bobby, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Cups. And then we have the Seven of Swords from this old deck. That the keyword is deception. Okay, from Chen, from EXO Chen, we have the Two of Wands. Sorry, yeah, the Two of Wands. I thought it was the Two of Pentacles. And we have the Chariot. Oh, actually, and he has the card of the Eight of Swords. The keyword is adjustment. Adjustment. So, yeah, they from this deck they got two swords. So I think that these cards show like the real, how they really feel. But honestly, it's very interesting because I think that they keep advancing in his careers or in their personal lives. Bobby, he got the Knight of Pentacles. And from, Chen's side, we have the Chariot. So, both of them are going somewhere. They keep advancing. It's like, they can be slowed down. You can feel like what they're going towards, it feels very far away, or it feels like a long wait, or you're like, they had better days. I wonder what they're doing. They just keep advancing. Maybe the velocity, how fast they're going towards their objectives, or maybe their professional objectives, is not going to be, oh my God, they're fast. But they are not thinking about quitting. They are not thinking about stopping. They're like, when I come back, I will come back. But it's all very professional. In the case of Bobby, I think that with the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, definitely I think that Bobby has great friends, I would say, in the industry. I don't want to say like, oh, he's friends with everyone, but I think that the people that I think that he's probably very admired um, by a lot of maybe younger generations. Like there's something, and also people are like, he's so skillful. He's so skillful. The Knight of Pentacles is someone that is very consistent in their efforts, and he's very practical. So there's something about him, maybe, when you look at Bobby, you think that maybe some people think like, oh, he's so lazy, or, oh, every time he has to do something, he cancels, or, it seems like he doesn't want to be there, or he doesn't want to do this. But at the end, when he shows up, he shows you success, or he shows you, that he can engage with the audience, and he's really good at working alone and also working with a team. And probably he has a great relationship with the members as well. The Two of Cups, I think that really Bobby is really good at building connections. That probably this is something that maybe, I don't know, maybe he's how people perceive him as an idol or a concept of Bobby. People are like, oh, he looks like he's so individualistic. Oh, it looks like, he's mad at everyone. No, actually, actually Bobby is really good at connections. Like the people that get to know him, they really fall in love with him because he's a really loyal guy. He's really loyal. It's just that he takes his time. He's very slow at making connections. It's not that he very instantly goes and makes friends. No, he's just there. The Knight of Pentacles is a very earth element. It's like, yeah, I show up, I act a bit like, I act a bit shy, or I don't show many enthusiasm, but slowly we will become closer. Slowly I will look at you in the eye. Slowly I will start a conversation. And probably also when it comes to his, maybe his partner, his wife, is the same. It's a very slow burning relationship where he also knows that he has to work towards this marriage that he has. This is something that he wanted to be responsible for, this marriage or this relationship that he has. he probably is not like, oh, I'm the loveliest or the most like romantic, but he is loyal. He's like, I will take care of this. I will show up. I will be there. Um, and probably this is something that maybe people also were very shocked about Bobby. Maybe people were like, oh, I thought that he was with different people or that he had different girlfriends. No, he had his eye on someone. And that slowly sort of turned into something serious. But, whatever happened, he still was working. He was invested in it. Um, it's just that he's so detached, it seems, or so slow that people are like, oh my God, are you married already? What happened? There must have happened something. And he's like, actually, everything that happened, I'm responsible of this. You know, I was invested. But yeah, we have the Seven of Swords. So, maybe at this point in his career, I like I said, probably he's enlisting, he's in the military. So the Seven of Swords, the keyword is deception. So I think that, yeah, maybe, being in the military, he's a very slow decision maker himself, or he's very strategic in this sense. So, maybe he feels like he's wasting time in there or that time passes so slowly, but he could actually make really good friends also in the military. But, with deception, he could also be disappointed at the kind of people that is in there. Or maybe he's disappointed in the industry. The Seven of Swords, I think that he is a bit disappointed. Maybe he's aware of everything that is going on, or maybe he knows about certain situations. And I think that maybe professionally, he feels like disappointed. I don't know if maybe it's because, the scene that he knows, or, how he got into K-pop. Maybe it used to be funny, or it used to be more entertaining back in the day, or it used to be, I don't want to say drama free, but maybe it was so much fun and challenging, and so like people were more authentic. I don't know. I think that the K-pop scene changed so much that there's something about him being like, yeah, I will sort of show up and be, I think that he will be asked to be someone's mentor if he's not already. And he's like, yeah, I will collaborate. I will show up. I will help the way that I can to the new generations. But honestly, I feel like this generation is doomed. There's something about him feeling a bit negative or feeling a bit pessimist about the future in K-pop. But yeah, he's like, things are not going well. Yeah, and from Chen's perspective, two of wands, we have the chariot. So yeah, for Chen reinvents himself. Also, the two of wands is like, I'm always making plans with my people, with my family, with my coworkers, like with the members. He's always like getting ready to work, I would say. This is why I think that also from Chen's side, it's like, I know people want to see me active, but I'm planning on coming back. So yeah, never stop. I always look at a new possibility, whether it's with the group, I'm ready. Others, I'm ready. By myself, I'm ready. I'm advancing, even though people maybe don't want to see me, but I will show up. I will be like, I have plans. I have a vision. And also, the chariot is a very Cancer placement kind of this is like an emotional depth, like an emotional um, promise that he made to himself. It's about keep advancing. It doesn't matter if I get rejected. It doesn't matter if people don't want to see me. I will keep showing up. I will keep advancing with my heart, in my chest, with my heart open, and with my talents and with who I am, with all of this, my marriage, my children, all of this that I am. I carry this with pride, and I advance. I advance. I don't hide. I advance. Yeah, also the Eight of Swords, adjustment. Definitely these moments are not the happiest I believe he's feeling much more like optimistic. There's something about him being like, I'm not stopping now. We are already moving. So yeah, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep, putting a lot of willpower to keep advancing. But Also, um, the kind of adjustment, the age of sorts, is like, it's up to him. He's a very, I think that sometimes it hurts. It hurts. Sometimes things get awkward, or maybe he still gets, certain comments or people just being awkward with him. But he's like, even though it's painful, and I do get hurt because I'm a person, so I do get hurt, I do get emotional, I do get offended, because he's human, he's not a robot. But he's like, I will adjust. I will adjust. I have bills to pay. I have children. I have a wife. So I will adjust. And also, I think that maybe for his marriage is also the same. He's a guy that he's like, marriage also is not easy. For him also, he feels a sense of duty, but he's also like, there's moments where, I also have my arguments, or I also have the challenges, in that it's not the same being single as being married, and being an idol. So there's something bittersweet about this. Sometimes I have fun, sometimes I do feel a bit suffocated, sometimes I want to scream, sometimes I want to run away, but I will not. I will adjust, even though it's painful, it's uncomfortable sometimes. You're talking about the White Lotus. I did watch season 3 for Lisa. Yeah, I did watch it. I like it. I mean, not like, oh wow, amazing, but I did watch the whole thing. I didn't watch the other seasons. I just watched um is a review of the prior seasons. I watch a 10-minute review of the other seasons just in case I miss something. But I don't see a real, maybe there's one character that is sort of linked to the past, but then the others, I think that they are all new. Um, but yeah, because I just wanted to watch the season number 3 for Lisa. I remember a long time ago, I wanted to watch the first one, and I believe I watched like 2 episodes and then I stopped. I was like, oh, I'm so bored. And I don't know. I think that it had great moments, but I know there's people that I do love the characters also, but I don't know. There's something about it started very well, but then it was like, according to my taste, I wouldn't be able to say, oh, it was a great series. Um, for me, it was okay. It was not like great, especially the last episode, the final episode. Yeah, she I recognize. Yes, yeah, yes. Okay, I'm going to continue with the actor Park Jungmin for 2025. Park Jungmin. Good. But also in the middle, Knight of Swords. Again, we have a lot of Queen of Swords for these Aries people. And now I have the Knight of Swords in the middle. So again, this person also having to, I mean, I sort of can see it for an Aries person, having also, just being very straightforward about the way they communicate and just being very honest, or maybe defending themselves or just being very honest about their experience and being like, that you're saying is wrong. Actually, this is what I think. So, and also maybe people being like, oh my God, like he's too straightforward, or why did he say that? Or is he angry? No, he's not angry. He's just very fast at saying something, and maybe it looks like he's attacking, but no, maybe he could be defending himself from something. I don't know. Oh my, the cards are very heavy. Mhm. Okay, for this actor, for Park Jungmin, we have Four of Cups, Six of Pentacles. Who owes him money? Knight of Swords in the middle, Ace of Wands, the Hierophant. Did he change companies? Did he change companies? And we have the Ten of Swords, distraction. So, yeah, he's like at the end of a very maybe nasty discussion with someone. He's at the end. But I think that honestly, with the Four of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, there's something I don't know what he has been working on, but he had been a bit disconnected from, maybe, you know, I believe there's a sort of he's daydreaming about. I don't know if he thought that he was going to get paid more, or that he was going to have the possibility to earn more money, or to get paid more, or to get a raise, or to get a promotion, or to get much more popularity. I don't know. I think that there's this feeling of like he's not. Um, and also the Four of Cups is giving me that he was taking this exchange for granted. So I wonder if maybe he didn't read the small letters of the contract, and now he's like wanting to complain about it, but then you were somehow like too comfortable not doing much about the situation, and now you're seeing that, oh my God, like I'm losing money, or you are not paying me what you said you will pay me. But he was somehow asleep through an experience. Maybe while he was working, he wasn't that connected, or he wasn't paying attention to something. He was in there just because he was like, I think that he was like confident. He was like, oh yeah, this is going to go well. Yeah, yeah, the audience is going to love it. They're going to love me. Um, is going to give, I'm going to give this effort. They're going to give me this. And there's something about him probably thinking like, at the end, I didn't get the recognition, or I didn't get the money that I thought that I was going to get. Maybe he feels that things have been unfair to him with the Knight of Swords. Maybe he feels like he was treated not the way he was expecting. There's something about him having this. I don't know him, but does he have a very like long career, and does he have a very strong reputation? Because it seems like he's fighting people, people, or maybe he's asking for money or retribution somehow. He's like, this is not fair. I gave you this, and you didn't give me what I thought that I needed. Um, but also the Four of Cups, I think that he maybe he had a very clouded perception of maybe, oh, this is going to be a success, and maybe it wasn't like the way he was measuring success. But he seemed to be very outspoken about it. So I wonder if he will say something to defend himself. And there's something very individualistic here about him. So I wonder if he's going to state something or say a comment coming from his experience, and being like, I don't know, I give it my all. If it didn't turn out the way you wanted to, I don't know, ask the others. But in my case, I know I give it my all. So there's something about him also being like, don't you dare to blame this on me. I did my best. I'm always doing my best. He's very quick to react. So, maybe he gets criticized or something like this. He's like, no, not with me. I will not take it. I will not take it. I'm very professional. I know my lines. I know what I have to do. I done everything right. So yeah, this is why I'm like, who is he fighting? But yeah, he could be a bit controversial. I would be like, don't say much. But yeah, I think like there's something about him wanting to defend his honor maybe and be like, I've done everything great because I'm a pro, but I don't know. This is not good. You owe me money or you had to pay me more to do more or something like this. But I see him like confronting someone. I don't know if it's his boss or if it's other people's criticism. I don't know. But he feels like, this year is going to be like, if you push him, you are going to get, maybe a not pleasant experience. But yeah, with the Ace of Wands and the Hierophant, there's been a passionate new beginning. Maybe he has a passionate new project with, I think that is like, is he going to a new company? Because the Hierophant is giving me like there's a company that hires him or welcomes him to their place, to their institution, or maybe he signs with a very, important um, director. But I can see that he's not going to get stuck in this energy. He's going to keep working. Maybe he has another project, and this one it feels like much more his style. With the Ace of Wands, it feels very, very passionate. It feels very manly, maybe, or it feels more his style. But also, the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like probably he's going to be working with people that yeah they will promise him like yeah you can do amazing, but at the same time they have rules and regulations. So I don't know how he will go with these people or with this director or this new company or this new place. I think that he will have to behave because the Hierophant is very the Hierophant is very, it's not that they are going to restrict you, but they are more, they slow down the Ace of Wands. It's like we appreciate that you're passionate about your craft, but we have certain guidelines. We have certain, like you have to follow the rules. In here, everything is in order, and there's like a leader. There's like a higher power. You cannot act wild or just being immature. Um, I don't know why I want to say this, but there's something about him being a bit immature. I don't know how old he is, but it sounds like whatever he's someone happy about or he's not satisfied about or he's angry about is not that deep, honestly. But yeah, with the Ten of Swords, he feels like at the end of maybe something got destroyed of his. I don't know if he had a dream, he had a perception, he had like he had aspirations, he had a project, and he was like, I want this project to be the best of this year, and suddenly it got destroyed, or maybe it was very hard for him to finish it because there was interruptions, or maybe he felt like the conditions weren't the best. So yeah, there was conflict. So yeah, with the Ten of Swords, it's like there could be a conflict here and there, exchange of opinions, but also there's a passionate new beginning. So I see that he will recover. He will get out of these moody cards. He will start because he's a very working guy. I mean, it seems like he puts his body, his soul, his character, his persona to the service of acting. It seems like he's very much involved, and probably he gets very good roles. He probably gets, but they are very active. They are very passionate, I would say. So it makes sense that he is a bit moody, because he puts so much of himself, so much of his vitality, that it feels like he could get angry at any moment, but it's because he's so passionate or he's so invested. Um, okay, guys, I'm going to continue with BTS Jin for his future projects this year. And I do have a reading for Jin, I believe, in my channel. No, I believe in the live stream I read for him. But yeah, I'm going to do this sort of update for him. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for the other guys to be back from the military so I can read for the group and themselves. I'm so happy that time is passing by. We already have them. Possibly they're going to discharge in a few months. So I'm excited. But yeah, Jin is already out. So yeah, let's see what Jin has available. Yeah, and then I'm going to go, guys, because I'm going to be late for my dad's celebration. What is going on with Jin? Oh my God. Okay, we start with the Queen of Wands for Jin. Ten of Wands. Three of Swords in the middle. Ten of Swords. And the Star. And we have the Death card. Whatever activity he's doing or he's been asked to do, honestly, he's not enjoying it very much. Like, I think that he's doing his best to be over with this. This is why we have the death card. There's this feeling of like, I cannot wait for these things that I have to do maybe alone to end, because he's looking for a transformation. I think that Jin definitely, him personally and also maybe professionally, he's going through this transformation, and it's not pleasant. When you go through this transformation, he does feel very awkward, or he does feel very uncomfortable around a certain woman, a certain female in here, because I have the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Wands. The Queen of Wands, could this be the new CEO that they have? Because she could be a pain in the butt, I would say. And there's something about this Queen of Wands feeling very entitled. And with the Ten of Wands, it's like, I don't know if they are giving Jin a lot of things to do, but he's carried with so much responsibility. The Ten of Wands, literally, he's carrying with so much. I don't know if maybe it's the schedule, but he's not satisfied. He's not satisfied. Um, the Three of Swords in the middle, I think that also, just like when I read for Bobby, that he got the card of deception. The Three of Swords also lets me know that maybe for Jin, it, there's a bit of deception. Maybe he came back from the military, and a lot of things have changed in the industry, of course, because time passes and everything, and he's just not. He's doing his best to, also do everything that he has to do, because we have all these tens. So definitely he's very busy, or he's very much in the level of, are they overworking him or something like this? With the Three of Swords, there's this feeling of like, I'm disappointed in the atmosphere around me. I don't know if people are being too negative, or if there's something about, if there's something about, a way that he's been treated, maybe there's something about a way that, they had been, managing certain things. He feels very disappointed in general. There's this feeling of him feeling very disappointed. Wait, guys, a second. Sorry, guys. My, my my dad was calling me. I have to go. But yeah, I told him that he has to wait because I'm not done. So yeah, he knows that I'm not done. I don't know what he's snapping. Okay. But yeah, I think that this is like a deep heartache. I think that he feels so like everything is happening. Maybe this year it feels very filled with bad news. I don't think that this is about BTS. I don't think that this is about, the activities that he has to do. Um, um, Also, at the end, we have the star card. So, like I said, for me, the star card is like destiny. There's something about, the price of fame and the starlight, literally, or the stardom that is all part, is all part of this, and he knows this. He knows this. It's just that maybe, around him, a lot of things have changed, and this is very sad. It's very uncomfortable. And he probably is trying, wherever he goes, he's trying to lift up the mood. He's trying to lift up the mood of, a group of people, or whatever he goes, he tries to be funny, or he tries to be witty about certain things. But there's so many responsibility, and there's so many burden, and there's so many like, oh, don't say that, don't do that. I don't know if they are restricting him. They are like, don't make those jokes because people can get offended. I think that he's like, I cannot be myself. The Ten of Swords, like when are all the guys are going to be over? Because with them, or in their, personal and intimate dynamic, maybe with BTS members and him, he's like, well, with them, I can be my own. I can be myself. I can be my goofy and honest self. And my people will get the jokes, or they will get where I come from. But I think that there's something with him individually going to interact with other people, or him having to maybe take the show himself, that he's like so suffocated. It feels it feels like, why did I come here? The vibes are off. There's a lot of restriction, there's a lot of review. Probably he has to do certain, if he has to record content, he has to do certain shots over and over and over, because no, that's not good enough. No, we will take that away. No, we will edit this. But he was like, but that part was the fun. That part that I did was the funniest one. And no, there's a lot of restrictions. I don't know if it's because this woman that is running their career, she's like, no, you don't say that. No, you don't do that. No, you cannot be like that. You cannot behave like that. Definitely, it's all in order to maybe prevent certain misunderstandings, but it's all taking the authenticity away. And he's like, at the end, I have nothing left. I'm not having fun. I'm trying to be myself. I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to, make people feel welcome. But and this is much for me. For me to deal on my own is too much stress. It's too much stress. And probably like I told you when I read for other idols and actors, I believe I said this about, it feels something heavy in the air, where they are like very anxious, or maybe their people, the staff and people that help them, they are all very anxious. They're all very, on alert, and there's a lot of rumors, and there's a lot of things that could they probably are also worried of some information being stolen. So there's a lot of protocols that for Jin, I think that there's something about Jin being like, when I started, we didn't have nothing, but it was so simple back then. Now everything is curated. And he feels like, this is too much for me. Like, I cannot wait to finish all these schedules and just wait for the guys to be with me. Because for me, myself, like, I cannot entertain this longer. Like, please, guys, come back. Yeah, with the star card, the star card, Definitely, it shows that yeah, he is a star, and this is part of the destiny of the probably being such a star is part of this, But he feels very overwhelmed. He feels very pressured. It's like I cannot be myself. I cannot breathe. It's too much. And he probably is disappointed at certain people's way of behaving next to him. He can see through BS, and he's like, you're so unauthentic. I shouldn't have come here. But he tries to, maybe be funny or put on a smiley face and just being humorous or trying to be, entertaining. But he's like, why is the humor so lost? There's no humor in here. No one is laughing. Everyone gets serious. Everyone gets all on the defensive. Like it seems like no one is having fun. Maybe even the staff are so overworked or are so, they have a lot of things to do. So you can feel that no one is enjoying their job or what they're doing. And he's like, I don't, even though they do their best to make me feel comfortable, I don't feel welcome. I feel like I'm a burden for them even. So he probably is like, I don't want anyone to help me. Let me, guys, I can do this on my own. I can do this. But they're like, no, 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 we cannot leave you do things on your own. We have to get permission. We have to get this check. So there's a lack of autonomy also for him. I don't see him, being able to do something independently. Is everything double check? Everything is like, it feels, but yeah, with the death card, I think that he's waiting for a transformation. And definitely once the other members are back, he's definitely going to pour all his heart out about what he's going through, because he wants to let probably the other members know, because they do have a communication, but he probably is also like, just writing everything about this months that he has been after he finished the service. These are not happy times. He's like, what is going on? Also why people are so unhappy, why are they so negative, like what is going on, like like he's like, I feel so sad all of a sudden. No one is having fun here. Like what, come on, wake up, people. And he feels like every interaction feels forced, like he has to get his way. And about projects, I mean, they can do well, because we have the star at the left. So there's something about him, because he has this star quality and he has this charisma. He will shine at the end, but it feels like he cannot wait for change to come, because it's not this is not, he feels so lonely. He feels like he's carrying the group basically on his back. He's like, I'm hanging on in here, guys, please come back, because I don't like it here. These people that are around me, I don't know them. Some of them, I have no idea who they are, and their vibes are off. Like he's not having fun. But he's a pro, so he will endure it. But yeah, I'm sure he's taking notes. He's like, I don't like this. Yes, I don't know why, but I have a feeling most of BTS, yes, is going to be accept when they return. Yeah, yeah. For someone like Jin, that Jin is like a Sagittarius. O sea, and Jin is like this goofy, but he's like, I'm trying my best, but no one's laughing here. Like what is going on with these people? Like, and also so like restrictive, in the sense of like, we cannot just create content just like this. No, we cannot record this like this. No, we have to go through this, and a lot of people have to watch it and approve it and change it. No, no, no. It seems like they have more people working for them, but it feels more chaotic. It feels much more chaotic than when they were like, in that small building of Picket. Mm. When the members were in the military, I mean, kept the balance by staying busy with Super M, 2 albums, a movie, live stream, creativity. Maybe he can just focus on his creativity. Yeah. It's just that people around him has lost the joy of what they're doing. And for him, it's also, this is why we have the free of source. It's so heartbreaking to see people being so harsh on themselves, and you definitely see that they are not, they are probably in pain or they have some issues, and it shows. Maybe he's looking at people and he sees that no one's laughing, no one is like having a good day. So you're like, okay, it's a work. You know that it's work. But I don't know why. Maybe they are overworking people or they are pushing people also to the limit, including Jin. And he's like, in this environment, I cannot be anymore. Like, it's toxic. And also him being a Sagittarius and him being a Moon in Aries, there's something about him also having low tolerance. He's like, like, what is going on, guys? Like, let's wake up. Like, stop it with the long faces. Like, it is not that big of a deal. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, I have to go because I have to attend to this lunch. My dad already called me. So yeah. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope I can keep doing the live stream in this hour if it's okay for you guys. So yeah, I'm loving to see like the familiar people and your names here to keep me company. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you so much for the conversation. I couldn't read much because of the tiny letters, but yeah, I will fix it during the week. But I didn't want to turn on the because when I play the live streaming here from my account, it starts frozening, and I think that it affects the quality of the live stream. So yeah, this is why I didn't. It's because this one is old, so it's failing me. So yeah, thank you guys. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.